Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Monday morning, March the 27th, 2023, the year of our Lord. We're here at Scottsburg, Indiana, at the Board of Public Works and Safety. So welcome to everybody. And we begin by our clerk treasurer, Ms. Jan Hardy, for our roll call.
Mayor Emick.
Here.
Karen Gracious. Here. Tom Lewis.
Here. We're all here. Hallelujah. Thank you very much. Our next thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes from March 13th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Karen Gracious makes a motion. Tom seconded that. Were there any questions about these? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you very much. The next thing is the approval of a new hire in our street department. And Ms. N?
We had a position open for street truck driver / sewer laborer, and we are going to hire someone for that. His name is Uriah Clark, and he will be starting on April 6th of this year. Also in this, he has a phone stipend for $50 and a prorated clothing stipend as well.
Let me describe this position as well. And you may or may not know this. So if you do know, forgive my repetitiveness. But in this department, it's not just streets, because it's that over there. They have sanitation, they have streets, and they have collection systems. And so as a result of that, the wastewater treatment pays part of those salaries. So this is a young man and has a Class A CDL. So he drives semi-trucks, he drives all trucks like that. Looks like we vetted him. Oh, that looks very good. So
What was the name?
Uriah, strong name.
Uriah.
You wanna
What's
tell
his
us
last
about
name?
Uriah?
Clark.
Steven's middle name, right?
Huh?
Steven's middle name.
Oh, I thought I was talking to him. Strong name, though. Strong name.
Yeah.
And seems like a very good fit, and so this will probably balance out what we have in the street department, so all positions should be taken this.
I'll make a motion to approve the hire.
Tom Lewis makes the motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Karen Grish seconds that. Any other questions about this? And the collection system, keep in mind about this, is that basically our wastewater treatment superintendent, Chase Harden, has a Class 4 with the state of Indiana license. That's as high as you can get. So all of these people are all under Chase Harden. So I just want you to know that. So basically, Chase's license is on the line. He's out on all these things. Anytime anything to do with collection systems and stuff like that, that's what's going on. So we've explained that. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you very much. The next thing is an approval for new hire for the Mid-America Science Park. Again, Ms. Emily.
I have a new hire for the Mid-America Science Park for the senior concierge position, so my previous position. She is going to begin tomorrow. Both of these hires also are contingent upon the necessary testing and paperwork that they have to do. So they should be completing all of that today. And she also will have a phone stipend that will begin in April, and that's $100. And her name is Amanda Couch.
What questions do you have?
What's her previous experience?
She worked for an insurance agency, and she worked in the school as an aide. But she is very excited and very eager to learn. So it'll be a good experience this week, doing some training.
We had two that came to the top, and it was kind of a decision between two folks here. And this is a position as senior concierge. This position is such that basically they're kind of over the Mid-America Science Park. Not kind of, they are. And they rent everything, and it can be a short-term rental as a half a day or an all day, or it can be a long-term rental. So it's a 2 or 3 year rental, whatever they would like to have a lease. There's also another facet of renting out or leasing out event centers in there. So we have set a goal for weddings, so we're trying to make certain that we have a wedding venue there. We have, I think you all know, we have a bridal suite for the brides and her entourage to join. We have a room for the grooms as well. So we are, and we have different packages for them, starting at about $1,500 and going probably all the way up to $6,000. So we can have them inside, we can have them around the fire pit. We have tents if you want to have it outside. We have fire trucks they can get in. We have horses and carriages we can do. So, but anyways, that's about that. So she seems to be a good fit. We probably were with her an hour or so. So, what questions do you have?
No.
Okay. We'll have, we ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Tom Lewis makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Gary Bush seconds. Anything else on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Mid-America Science Park lease. Em, you're up again.
We have someone who is wanting to lease a large space at the Mid-American Science Park. Her lease will begin in September of this year. She's kind of doing it far out because she's with an insurance agency and has to move out of her current place, and it's a whole process there. But she is signing a lease for 3 years, so this will go until 2026. And there are details on the price and the room in the lease if you want to look at that. And her name is Latasha Wimsatt.
If you notice here, you'll see the rent and how the rent does include utilities. The deposit is the same as the rent. Within that lease, there is a 5-day grace period. Rent's always due on the first of the month, but after 5 days, going into 6 days, then there was a $75 late fee, and that's also subject to 2% interest per month as well. So,
Could I add, Mayor, that is never enforced, that late fee.
let me know.
Well, it's in there, and I mean, we don't ever enforce that.
Okay.
So
Then we'll want the senior concierge out there to receipt that money and bring it to Jan. No, it cannot.
We've got a process.
Comes right here.
It goes to Melina, but
Then we need to know, when it's, we need to know the day they get it. Because, I'm gonna want it.
want to enforce that now. At one time, it wasn't. Okay.
The only reason we had, there was a major corporation. It was a major corporation, I think that's what we were talking about. I didn't know we were doing it for anybody else. And that just had to do with their book stuff, we just needed to move the date on that one, so, but yeah. So basically, yeah, so.
So this is insurance, you say she's an insurance?
She has a state farm.
Okay.
She's out of state farm. Her office is in Clarksville right now, so she's moving. She
Okay.
lives here, but she's moving her office to Scottsburg.
She the only person that?
No, she's the only agent, but there's multiple people that work in her office.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the lease.
Tom Lawrence makes the motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Gary Bush seconds that. Any other questions about this? Okay, this is a long-term lease, I believe this goes through,
3 years.
yeah, 3 years, 3 years, okay.
Good deal. It's a
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
added income.
Yep. So, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, yes, thank you very much. Let me just bring up another one real quick, is that we have a lease with a company who has an amazing product that they are vetting through FDA to get on the market, and it has other uses that is being used now. And that production is soon to start fairly quick. And but we did have some issues, the city had some issues where that was the old 360 office, and we had half the windows that had not been put in properly when they put in, because when it rains, catch thing. And the rain catch thing, if it would had it, basically caught the rain and then dumped it out on the outside. If it didn't have it, then it didn't catch it and it messed up our walls. So we had half of them messed up. We replaced all of the windows because they'd been put in from the time that building was originally purchased by, or built by Frudenberg, so that's probably been 30 years or better. And so we did replace those windows all with the catch basins in there. We did have the tinting on it, so it wouldn't hurt with that. We then had to have, it's not sheetrock, it was a cement type product that was on the inside of those walls. So we had that all redone. So right now, because of that, and we had several other issues, and they had been paying, I think, 5 months full rent. And they didn't think it was fair, and I didn't think it was fair as well, because they couldn't use it right off the bat. So there was an agreement made that they would pay half rent. That half rent will be up at the end of this month in April. And, so beginning May, they'll be back on full rent. And that's about $3,600. So, just to clarify that, they're aware of all of this, and they're okay with this as well. So, we've had conversations with that. So, going forward, that is. Next we have is do you have any questions about that? Okay. Next is the claim approvals. By Clerk Treasurer.
Just be open for a motion to approve the claims. It was a very light docket this time, so yes, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Okay, Rich makes a motion, is there a second? Second. Tom seconds that. Any other questions about claims? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you very much. Announcements? I have something here, change of time. Jill, is that you?
Yeah, we would like to change the
May 8th
yeah,
meeting time.
Can you guys do 1 o'clock?
Okay,
Can you,
Okay.
we'll send out a reminder,
please, yes.
but the mayor has something that morning. Can you, Jan? Okay,
So basically, it's not permanent, it's just going to listen.
just that one time, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and we'll send out a couple of reminders.
Chief, what do you have for us today, buddy?
I'm fine that day too.
Oh, sorry.
I'm teasing you. Just quickly, I'll tell you, update on our hiring process. We're done taking applications. We only received 10 applications.
Only 10?
10.
I would think that would be a fair amount.
Normally we get about, we used to a few years ago, about 50.
50.
Yeah, too many people want to do this anymore. Through the background checks, we've eliminated 1, so we got 9. We've contacted 8 of them can make it. One of them still, I believe, still active duty military, so they're not going to be able to make it. But so we've invited 8 people to an agility test, which will be April 7th, and we'll go from there. Whoever passes will do that. So in talking with Major Harden, we've done this in the past. We're probably going to. Originally, we said we were hiring 2 positions, which we still are, but probably we're going to break this down to looking at 1 applicant right now, and then probably reopen it after that process. That's not, Marty, that's not for sure. We're going to see how this process goes. And if it is, I'll let the board know. We may reopen it back up in May or something and start the process again to do the position, to fill the spot that I'm vacating, not the chief spot. That's appointed by the mayor. So I'll keep the board updated on that. But, we did this before when we went through a hiring process where we're hiring 3. When we initially did the school resource job, and we had some issues with people passing polygraphs and background checks. So we hired 2 of the 3, and then we started the process over and hired the last one out of that process. So this may happen too. Just to let you know.
Thank you. What questions do you have for Chief about that? Okay, I'm assuming you'll keep those.
Yeah. The idea is if we start another process, that all those that pass, that we don't, if we hire 1 out of that, let's say there's 3 or 4 others that have passed everything, they will move on to the next process also. And we will let them know that.
Will you also then advertise that as well?
Yes, we'll have to.
Okay, so you advertise it and bring all the active ones you still have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. We'll actually advertise and take applications in, is the thought process on that. And if that occurs, we'll let you know.
Okay.
So would that put that to about the hiring time, be about the time you would be retiring?
Yes, yes.
Because I,
Yeah, it's a good, normally about a 3-month process from start to finish.
okay,
When we start advertising to finish.
just
You're getting
thinking
closer
budget.
every day, chief, or you're
90 some days, I'm not really counting, but it's 90 some days.
Scottsburg, we'll miss you greatly, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I'll come around.
Do you have any interest in any of those positions?
No thanks.
I don't know if you and I need to go out and do that agility test. That kind of sounds fun. Ladies, what do we have?
Just a reminder, there's no council meeting tonight.
Okay.
Cancel meeting.
Mark? Okay, well, nothing else. We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we're adjourned.